Hello, my friends. Welcome back to American Lingo Academy. I'm Fiona, and today we're going to learn another 10 common idioms, phrases, and sentences that native English speakers use every single day. These expressions are super useful, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what they mean and how to use them naturally in your own conversations. Now, I know learning English can feel overwhelming sometimes, but don't worry. I'm here to make it easy for you. We're going to take our time today, and I'll explain each expression step by step. Remember, the key to improving your English is practice and patience with yourself. So grab a cup of coffee or tea, get comfortable, and let's dive right in. Number 1, they are really hitting it off. This is an idiom, and it's such a popular one in American English. When we say two people are hitting it off, it means they like each other immediately. They connect really well, they have good chemistry, and they enjoy spending time together. It usually happens when people first meet. You'll hear this expression all the time when people talk about new friendships, dating, or even business relationships. It's a very positive way to describe when two people just click. For example, imagine your friend Sarah goes on a blind date. The next day you ask her how it went, and she says, "Oh my gosh, we are really hitting it off. We talked for 3 hours and didn't even notice the time passing." Here's another one. Let's say you introduce two of your friends at a party, and later you see them laughing and having a great conversation in the corner. You might think to yourself, "Wow, they are really hitting it off. I'm so glad I introduced them." Number 2, carpe diem. Now this one is interesting because it's actually Latin, but Americans use it all the time. It's a phrase that means seize the day or live in the moment. When someone says carpe diem, they're encouraging you to take advantage of opportunities right now, instead of waiting or worrying about the future. You'll often hear this when someone is trying to motivate themselves or others to do something exciting or take a risk. It's about being spontaneous and enjoying life. For example, your friend calls you on a Friday afternoon and says, "I just found cheap tickets to Hawaii for this weekend. I know it's last minute, but carpe diem, right? Let's just go for it." You might hear something like this too. Maybe you're at work and your coworker says, "I've been thinking about asking for that promotion for months. You know what? Carpe diem. I'm going to talk to my boss today." Number 3, I slept in. This is a phrasal verb, and it's probably one of the most common ones you'll hear, especially on weekends. When you sleep in, it means you sleep later than usual. Maybe you normally wake up at 7 in the morning, but today you woke up at 10. That's sleeping in. This is a very casual expression, and people use it to explain why they might be late or why they missed something in the morning. It's usually not a big deal, just part of normal life. For example, imagine it's Saturday morning and your friend calls you at 11 o'clock. You answer the phone and say, "Sorry, I just woke up. I slept in today because I stayed up late watching movies last night." People often say something like, "I can't meet you for breakfast tomorrow. It's Sunday and I really want to sleep in. Can we do lunch instead?" Number 4, double standard. This is a phrase that describes an unfair situation where different rules apply to different people, even though they're doing the same thing. A double standard happens when one person gets treated one way, and another person gets treated completely differently for the exact same behavior. This expression often comes up when people are talking about fairness, equality, or hypocrisy. It's usually used to point out something that doesn't seem right or just. For example, let's say at your workplace, male employees can wear casual clothes on Friday, but female employees still have to dress formally. You might say, "That's such a double standard. Why do we have different dress code rules based on gender?" Here's another one. Maybe your parents let your younger brother stay out until midnight, but when you were his age, you had to be home by 9. You could say, this is a total double standard. Why does he get to stay out so late when I couldn't? Now, before we continue with the rest of our expressions, I want to ask you a huge favor. If you're enjoying this lesson and finding it helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us create more content like this for English learners like you. We work hard to make these videos clear and useful, and your support means the world to us. Plus, we post new videos every single day, so you'll never run out of ways to improve your English. Number 5, you read my mind. This is a sentence that we use as an idiom, and it's a fun one. When someone says you read my mind, they mean you said exactly what they were thinking. It's like you knew their thoughts without them telling you. Of course, nobody can actually read minds, but this expression shows that you and another person were thinking the same thing. People use this all the time in daily conversation when they're surprised by how similar their thoughts are to someone else's. It creates a nice feeling of connection. For example, you and your friend are walking down the street and you're both getting hungry. Just as you're thinking about getting pizza, your friend says, "I'm really craving pizza right now." You would respond, "Oh my gosh, you read my mind. I was just thinking the exact same thing." You might hear something like this at work too. Your colleague comes up to you and says, "We should really organize our supply closet this week." And you reply, "You read my mind. I was just looking at that mess and thinking the same thing." Number 6, shouldn't we follow him? This is a question, and it's a great example of how native speakers use modal verbs in everyday conversation. The word shouldn't is the contraction for should not. But when we use it in a question like this, we're really asking for someone's opinion or suggestion about what to do. This type of question comes up when people are trying to make decisions together or when they want to suggest an action, but aren't completely sure about it. It's polite and collaborative. For example, imagine you're watching a movie with friends, and one of the main characters starts walking toward a dangerous-looking building. You might turn to your friends and say, "Shouldn't we follow him? I think he's going to find something important." People often say things like this in real life too. Maybe you're at a shopping mall with your sister and your brother walks off in a different direction. You might ask, "Shouldn't we follow him? I don't want him to get lost." Number 7, is now a good time? This is a polite question that shows respect for other people's schedules and situations. When you ask, "Is now a good time?" you're checking if the other person is available to talk, meet, or do something with you. It's a very considerate way to start a conversation or request. You'll hear this question everywhere, from casual conversations with friends to professional situations at work. It's one of those phrases that makes you sound thoughtful and respectful. For example, you need to call your boss about an important project. When she answers the phone, instead of jumping right into business, you say, "Hi, Sarah. Is now a good time to talk about the Johnson project? I have some questions." Here's another one. Your roommate is sitting at his computer, looking very focused on his work. You want to ask him something, so you say, "Hey Mark, is now a good time? I wanted to talk to you about our weekend plans." Number 8, when's it due? This is a question about deadlines, and you'll hear it constantly in school, at work, and even in personal situations. When something is due, it means there's a specific date or time when it needs to be finished or turned in. This question is asking about that deadline. Students use this question all the time when talking about homework, projects, and assignments. But adults use it too when discussing work projects, bills, library books, and anything else that has a time limit. For example, your teacher gives your class a research paper assignment. After she explains all the requirements, a student raises their hand and asks, "When's it due? Do we have 2 weeks or 3 weeks to finish it?" You might hear something like this at work as well. Your manager assigns you a new project, and after she explains everything, you ask, "This sounds great. When's it due? I want to make sure I plan my time properly." Number 9, what do you feel like doing? This is a question we use when we want to make plans, but don't have any specific ideas. It's a way of asking someone about their preferences or mood. When you ask what someone feels like doing, you're giving them the choice to suggest an activity. This question is perfect for casual, friendly situations. It shows that you're flexible and care about what the other person wants to do. It's much more open than asking a specific question like, "Do you want to see a movie?" For example, it's Friday evening and you're texting your best friend. You write, "I'm so glad the week is over. What do you feel like doing tonight? I'm up for anything." People often say something like this on weekends too. Maybe your family is sitting around the house on Saturday afternoon and someone says, "We should do something fun today. What do you feel like doing? We could go to the park, visit the museum, or just stay home and watch movies." Number 10, I pay my debts. This is a sentence that can be used literally or figuratively. Literally, it means you pay back money that you owe to someone. But figuratively, it means you always return favors, keep your promises, and take care of your responsibilities. It's about being reliable and trustworthy. This expression shows that someone has strong personal values about keeping their word and not owing anything to anyone. It's about integrity and following through on commitments. For example, your friend lends you $50 when you're short on cash for rent. A week later, you get your paycheck and immediately give her the money back. You say, "Here's the $50 I borrowed. I always pay my debts, so I wanted to get this back to you right away." Here's another one. Maybe a coworker helps you finish a big project when you're overwhelmed. Later, when he needs help with something, you stay late to help him. You might say, "Thanks for helping me last month. I pay my debts, so I'm happy to help you with this." And there you have it, my friends. 10 more useful expressions that will make your English sound more natural and fluent. Remember, the best way to learn these is to practice using them in your own conversations. Start with 1 or 2 that feel comfortable to you, and gradually add the others as you get more confident. Learning a language takes time, so be patient with yourself and celebrate your progress along the way. Every new expression you learn is a step forward in your English journey. Thank you so much for watching today's lesson. If you found it helpful, please give this video a like, share it with your friends who are learning English, and don't forget to subscribe to American Lingo Academy. Leave me a comment below and let me know which expression was your favorite, or tell me about any expressions you'd like me to explain in future videos. We post new content every single day, so there's always something new to learn. Until next time, keep practicing, stay positive, and remember that every conversation is a chance to improve. See you soon.